What is the mystery? That they both gotta get in.
As you're boarding the bus today, please. Some people might consider a work site boring stuff, but folks, this is the edge of our 21 hectare elephant sanctuary that we're currently building for the elephants that currently live at Melbourne Zoo. So we're obviously incredibly excited. It's a huge, beautiful space, and they're due to come in about 12 months, so you'll all have to come back in about 12 months when they're all settled in. So the whole family of 9 will be coming here to Werribee, and there's Olympic-sized swimming pools in there, and peaks and troughs, and a family barn, all sorts of really, really cool stuff to ensure that the elephants are happy. Now next to the elephants we have zebra. Now they've actually just recently moved here from Melbourne Zoo. So we are going to cruise past them. But folks, we have other zebras that live down on the savannah. So we're going to get up nice and close to our zebras, including 3 tiny little baby zebras. So we'll go down and find them on our lower savannah. Now if you do look to the left though, we have camels. Now camels are incredibly hard-working animals. A lot of people think that they keep water in their hump, but it's actually fat. So think of it like a big picnic basket. If a camel has a big, lovely, happy hump like these girls, they can go a month without eating. Now they do drink huge amounts of water, about 100 litres in 10 minutes. Slurp, slurp, slurp. But they store all that water in those big round barrel tummies, and they can go 2 weeks before they need to have another drink. So incredibly well adapted to super, super tough conditions. Now on the other side of the bus, these are called scimitar horned oryx, and they are the most endangered animal that we have here at the zoo. Sadly, the scimitar horned oryx, folks, until recently was extinct in the wild. There's been some really exciting news that now some populations have been established in the wild. So they're still critically endangered, which is obviously not great, but they're doing heaps better. And this is a family group up here. We do have some seniors also down on the savannah. So I say, woo, let's get out of the desert. Oh, it's a bit hot for humans in the desert. We're not so good. Camels can go 2 weeks without a drink of water. Oryx can go their whole life without having a drink of water. Isn't that amazing? They get all the moisture they need from the dew, from the grasses when they feed in the morning, and the plants that they eat. Let's get going. We're going to drive right through this pond. Now there's lots of cute little ducks and things in here at the moment, but that is actually it. We did have some hippos living here, but they have moved off to Monado Zoo. But do not worry, you guys, you can see our other hippos on foot. So if you haven't already, you can do a big loop around the zoo when safari gets back and hang out with Primrose, Tulip and Lotus up on one. You can see some humans up there. So when we get back, have a little wander, see humans. Now you guys, it does get a bit bumpy through here. There's a few bumps and things that I cannot miss. So just brace yourselves for that. Alright.
You're getting me hot.
There's a couple more bumps along here. Make sure keeps me on him. Yeah, buddy. Alright. The rest of you through the pond. Okay. So we've got a welcoming committee here, folks, in the form of an ostrich. Now you'll see eggs dotted around. There's one right here, which is a ridiculous place to lay an egg. They are real. So those eggs have been laid. Look, bumper. Now often I hear whisperings of someone ostrich is supposed to be black and white. But folks, these are the female ostrich, so it's the boys that's black and white, the ones we see in the movies and the books. Now these female ostrich are obviously very lovely. They're quite plain, quite camouflagey, and that does tend to be the case in the bird world. It's actually the boy birds that usually get all the colours and the impressive plumage. That's ultimately to impress the girl birds. So we do have boy ostrich down on the savannah. Now those little eggs will not become little ostrich. They're not fertilised. The girls lay them quite happily. Not particularly interested in sitting on them. There's not much maternal instinct there when it comes to female ostrich. And the boy ostrich that raise their chicks. Now they've done lots of laying in the last few days. Eggs everywhere. Now folks, these lovely little antelope on your left-hand side. There is actually two species. If you look really, really carefully back into the trees, see hidden under the trees there's a beautiful red antelope called a Nyala. Now the Nyala are the ones with those fine white stripes, and they do tend to spend their time hidden under the trees like these ones. Now in the foreground, the little ones, they look like babies, they are fully grown. They're called Indian antelope or black buck, and they are one of the smallest and one of the fastest of all antelope. These guys can clock 90 kilometres an hour at full pelt. So really, really, really quick. And they can jump 9 to 12 feet if they need to. Now did you spot the odd one out in there? A very handsome boy with long spirally horns. His name is Artie. And the rest are his girlfriends. Some say lucky Artie and others go, oh poor Artie. So it kind of depends which way you look at it. That's a typical herd. He takes his responsibilities to care for those girls very, very seriously. Now remember when we set out and I said we've got ostrich at the moment and think it's funny to ambush us at the gates? Can you see them lurking? So we're going to zip out here very, very quickly. Can't guarantee they won't hold us up on the way back. Hello girls. Getting up to this herd. So folks, ostrich are very, very lovely. They're curious and a little bit cheeky. Between you and me, their brains are smaller than their eyeballs. So they're not too bright. They do get themselves into very funny situations. Alright. Okay folks, so we're just about to cross over the Werribee River. We're very lucky here at Werribee to have a naturally formed river flowing through us. In fact, we think we're one of 3 zoos in the whole world. So if you guys have been to other zoos, there's been a river, it's a good chance it's been a man-made river. This is Werribee River folks, and it's flowed through here for thousands and thousands of years before we built the zoo around it. It's very high at the moment after all this rain. But we have a lot of beautiful native fauna in there, frogs, fish, tortoise, and also wallabies along the banks, which is pretty special. Now guys, we have a pretty full bus, so the engine works very hard to get us up this hill. It does get a bit loud, and don't worry, it will quiet down once we get to the top. feeders. So we'll see. Oh yeah, they're out. That's good. I was a bit worried. Sometimes these guys have a bit of a sleep in. On the right hand side, folks, we're coming up to North American bison. Now they're still looking really, really scruffy, and that's because they still haven't quite shed the last of their winter coats, which is absolutely ridiculous considering it's January. But folks, we have had a really good run of hot days. And there's also an element of laziness. They should be rolling around, rubbing it off on the trees. A bison's winter coat is so thick and woolly and lovely that if snow was to land on their back, it wouldn't melt from their body heat. Because it's so thick and well insulated, which is quite remarkable. Now, these beautiful horses are my favourites here at the zoo. So they are called wild Mongolian horse. They are the ancestor of all other horses. And they're actually the only true wild horse in the world. So you guys might have heard of Brumbies in Australia, Mustangs in America. They're all domestic horses that have been set free. These wild Mongolian horses have never ever been domesticated. And we're not just very lucky to have them here at the zoo, we're actually very lucky to have them on the planet. Way back in the 60s, scientists discovered there was only 30 left in the whole world. They were very, very close to becoming extinct. But they were very clever scientists, so they put their minds down, to it, and they put in all efforts over several decades, and now, folks, there are a few thousand. So that's a really good news story. We were very close to losing those horses, but luckily we were able to turn things around. Alright, now I'm pretty sure everything was up the other end, so just bear with us. All these roads are one way. Oh, it's a kookaburra, cute. We do get amazing bird life down here, so a lot of birds of prey, we get the old wedge-tailed eagle, lots of kites and things. Okay, so as I said, folks, the roads are all one way, so if you see anything over the other side, don't worry, we'll just loop around and catch up with everything in a minute. Alright, so zebras are the first creature we're going to come across. We do have a few babies, so they are spread around. We'll see if we can catch up with our babies in a little second. So these are plains zebra. It's in the open plains. There's two other species of zebra in the world, and they are Werribee zebra and mountain zebra. So folks, I'm just going to keep going up a little bit because the little baby ones are up here. Now look, I promise you they're fine. They sleep flat. So it always gives us a little bit of a fright. But this is how the babies sleep. So you can see them all kind of up there having a snooze. Very busy being a little zebra. You are walking within about 3 or 4 minutes of being born. You are running with the herd 5 minutes after being born. And what I absolutely love about little zebras is that they memorise their mum's stripes. So when they are born, mummy zebra and baby zebra imprint on each other. So they memorise each other's stripes. Isn't that crazy? So if they got separated in a herd of thousands, they can find each other visually. That's mind-boggling. Imagine if you guys lost each other today and you had to find each other but could only look at your fingerprints. It's impossible, we wouldn't be able to do it. Pretty awesome. So yeah, little babies having a bit of a sleep. You'll see that the mums or the aunties are always standing over the babies while they're resting. Boy ostrich dotted around the place that you might be a bit more recognisable as ostrich. And then these funny brown creatures to the left, these are called eland. Now eland are the largest antelope in the world, and they sacrifice speed for strength, so they're quite slow. When I say that, they're still 40 kilometres an hour, which is faster than us, but slow for an antelope. But they're really, really strong, so much so they've been known to stand their ground against a lion in the wild. They will stay and fight, and they've been known to win. Pretty impressive, huh? Sometimes I hear people go, oh, antelope are boring, but you guys, most of them have evolved some pretty cool tricks as a result of everything trying to eat them. One of the babies is standing up, so you can see having a little feed, then the other two having a snooze. They are the cutest things in the world. So a little baby zebra, the cutest thing in the world, but all leg. They've got these super long, lovely legs, which make them look very sweet. There you go. That's our little Christmas baby who just stood up in the middle. They were born on Christmas Day. But those lovely long legs not just make them look really cute, that's also a survival adaptation. If you are a lion and you crouch down on the edge of, say, a herd of eland, it's going to be really easy to spot the babies. They're a lot lower to the ground. If you crouch down on the edge of a herd of zebra, it's actually very hard to spot the babies because all their bellies are the same height. So those big, long, beautiful legs not just make them look cute, it actually is going to help them when it comes to, survival adaptation, just like with the antelope. Alright folks, giraffes spread all around the place. So you guys are lucky because until a couple of weeks ago we only had 4 giraffes down here, but we have been joined by 3 little baby giraffes just recently. Now introducing little giraffe to such a space is a pretty massive task. And while I know it's really, really exciting, but I just want to get everyone to keep their voices down a little bit. I know it's super exciting, but these 3 little giraffes came from a zoo where they didn't really have room to run. So, in order to introduce them, to this big, huge space, they also needed to meet 4 giraffes that are pretty much double their size. Then we introduced them to things like rhinos and antelope, throw in some really giant buses full of really, really excited, happy people, and that's an awful lot for you to get used to if you're just a little giraffe. Now if you see all these white little flags on all of the wires, they also, as I said, it was kind of the first time they'd had the chance to run. So we need to alert them to all of those things that they can run straight into in their excitement. The last few days they haven't been out because it's been really muddy. And again, when you're a 1-year-old giraffe getting used to those big lovely legs in a new home and it's a breeder, that can also spell disaster. So folks, as I said, 7 now, which is so lovely. Still getting to know each other, but being super lovely and kind. Amani on the left, folks, he's our oldest and our tallest, and he has been absolutely delightful with these babies. So the very first day they were all out here together, Amani took the 3 little boys on a big tour, and you could actually see him walking them over to the water trough, walking them up the top. It was very, very cute. They're not making things easy for themselves, but that's quite hilarious. What are you doing, boys? What are you doing, boys? They're so cute. So folks, 7 all together. These 2 here, this is Jessie and David, I think. Let me just have a look, yep. And then the little fella up the front here is Wayo. Now Wayo and Jelani up the front, our really pale one. Jelani's still not quite sure. He's taking a little while to get to know the boys. We were worried the little ones would be scared of the big ones. It's actually the other way around. So Amani and AJ have been gorgeous. They've welcomed them with open arms. Harold and Jelani taking a little bit longer to get used to these funny little giraffes that are running around all of a sudden. So, bachelor group, they are all boys. Not a breeding zoo for giraffe, folks. If any of these boys are called up for breeding, we would have to send the boy to the girl. We could not bring a girl giraffe here. Hello, sweet boy. It would just give them something to fight over. But without having a girl here messing with their, bro code, they get along really well. And they are as lovely and as polite and as gentle as they appear. Super cool. Gone very well. Introducing any type animal is a very, very gradual, slow process, but obviously very, very exciting and rewarding when it's gone well. Okay, you guys, we have one more animal to meet. And just like the little boy giraffe, if anything more so, once we get closer, we will keep our voices nice and quiet. So rhinos have pretty rotten eyesight. They don't have good eyesight at all, but they have excellent, excellent sense of smell and really, really, really good hearing. So as we do get closer, you'll see that one ear will tend to point towards us, where all the noise is coming from. The other one will be spinning around and around, picking up noise coming from all different directions. Now these 5 rhino are southern white rhinos. So that's the largest of the 5 species that still remain. Doing the best as far as numbers go. Sadly though, things aren't looking too good for wild rhinos. Now we've got lots of kids on board, I'm not going to go into the gory details, but folks, we do urge people, if it's something you'd like to learn more about, to look into it. It is pretty dire. If we continue the rate we're going, to be a world without wild rhinos, potentially within the next decade. Now the reason they're in trouble is because of that big horn. Can you see on their face? It's hard to miss, isn't it? That is made of keratin. Exactly the same stuff as our fingernails and our hair. So nothing magical, nothing medicinal. And it's only any use to a rhino. Now of these 5, let me just get my bearings. Far right, that's Kafaru. So here's the young boy that joined us from Hall Scout Zoo a couple of years ago. The 2 at the front here, this is CC on the left with the short stabby horn, and CC's bestest friend Latava has the really, really big horn. Now coming up behind Kafaru is Marke, and way off in the distance there is Kapenzi. Now in this group we have 3 generations. So Marke off to the right, her daughter is CC, front left, and CC's daughter is Kapenzi in the back. So that's pretty special. And genetically, Kapenzi and Kafaru are a really valuable match. So we've got everything crossed. It's been some very promising behaviour. We would love a 4th generation of a rhino that, yeah, is not doing too well in the wild. Would be very, very, very special. Now I told you folks that we see some really cool behaviours play out because these animals will live together. Did you notice that some of the zebras were kind of dirty, kind of a bit brown? Have you also noticed some really big giant piles of poo as we've been travelling around? Ew. Well, the zebras are grubby because they roll around in the rhino poo. Ew, that's gross. Why would you roll into someone else's poo? Hey buddy, same to see ya. If you roll around in rhino poo, you're going to smell like a rhino, and a lion is going to be a lot less interested in eating you. Now we don't have lions down here. We wouldn't do that. That would be a very happy safari. But that's really cool that instinct is still really, really strong in those zebras. And that's because they're able to live with rhinos. Alright, we're going to get a really cool look at our eland, folks, as we exit. Now guys, I mentioned that these elands have been known to stand their ground against lion in the wild. Picture this. Picture that a lion sneaks up on the eland and he doesn't have the chance to fight. So he has to make a run for it. Eland is running as fast as he possibly can, but the lion is behind him and getting closer. Lion is thinking, check out the size of this thing. This is going to be the best dinner ever. Despite weighing up to 1,000 kilos and running full pelt with a lion on his tail, eland then springs over 3 meters into the air. Could jump over this bus. Imagine seeing one of these guys sail over the top of the bus, especially this big fella in front of us, fully grown. Lion goes, wowzers, I don't know what other tricks you've got up your sleeve, I'm going to leave you alone. So as we're saying, folks, most antelope have some pretty awesome adaptations that they have evolved as a result of, everything trying to eat them. So you'd want to come up with some pretty cool tricks.
Can you say a movie? Look where he's looking at you. Barry, look, he's looking at you. Oh, there you go. Look at Hippie. Oh, he's blowing bubbles.
Rolling.
Oh, they're all sleeping in the pods. Oh, there's one more. I think he's doing it.
Sorry, girl. No, that's not true, and that's not you. You're cuter than that.